Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I have some pretty bad news to share with you guys. That's why I'm not smiling like I usually am. Um, they are continuing to attempt to sabotage the appeals of the Whitmer guys. If you don't know what I'm referring to, I am currently doing a documentary on the FBI's Governor Whitmer kidnapping hoax, and there are 5 men currently wrongfully incarcerated. They're trying to appeal their wrongful convictions. 5 of these men have already been acquitted by 2 different juries, right? That saw that this was FBI entrapment. And since then, even more evidence has come out showing even more how corrupt these agents are. So I just want to read to you guys a message I got from Paul Bellar's dad. If you don't know who Paul is, let me bring up this picture of Paul. You can see him here petting a horse. Sorry, I had to go the other bit here. Excuse me. This is not a laughing matter. You can see him there, though, petting the horse. Paul was just 21 when he got, I think 20 or 21 when he got arrested and wrapped up in this, despite the fact that he had left the Wolverine Watchman group. He broke off of the group and started his own group, which he was very clear in his group was defensive only and medical training, and yet he ended up moving away from Michigan. And I believe July of 2020, he moved to South Carolina. So the fact that they even pursued him is ridiculous. Of all the cases, the 5 men that are currently appealing, I think that Paul's is the case where they have the least evidence. Like, his case is the most likely to win on appeal because there's literally nothing there. If you separated his case out from the other 3 guys who were members of the Watchmen, if you separated them out and you just tried Paul by himself, like, they don't have anything on him of providing any material support to anything. He didn't know about any of this. And so it's just ridiculous, but I think that's why he in particular is being targeted. So I'm going to read a message his father sent me. He said, "I just heard from Paul. He emailed you." Well, I want to right here just say that the way that the prison email system works is they monitor everything, they screen everything before they let it go through. So he sent me an email, it's saying, but I haven't received it. So they're obviously, they may not even let me get the email. That's the other thing. I might not get it at all. And so he's saying, he says to me, apparently I'm going to get an email, and he says, "Here is my email to his attorney." And I'm going to stop right here, call out the attorney, Ronald Ambrose. What are you doing? What have you been doing, sir? Because from what I can see, the answer is literally nothing, and you should be ashamed of yourself. But this is Paul's father's message to the attorney. Does anyone know what is going on around here? Paul just called completely upset, defeated, and ready to lose it. They put the prison on lockdown Saturday with no reason given. They're still on lockdown. And I'm going to tell you what is interesting about this. Joe Morrison is in a different prison. He's in a federal BOP prison just like Paul is, despite the fact that these men were not charged or convicted federally. They had only state charges. On the eve of their appeals, they were shipped out to different federal facilities, federal BOP facilities across the country with no explanation given. To date, we've gotten none about why this happened, why they're not in Michigan where they should be, where their lawyers are, where they have access to a Michigan law library, etc. So they put Joe on lockdown also. Joe is in Illinois. Okay, he's at FCI Pekin. Paul is at FCI Schuylkill, however you say it, in Minersville, Pennsylvania. These 2 men are in 2 different facilities, and yet they were both put on lockdown at around the same time. I find that strange, with no real reason given. Today, so this is continuing from the email, today he got to use the shower and his one phone call. They forgot, we're going to do air quotes, forgot that he had a video call with you scheduled for today, his attorney, and they said that they'll just have to reschedule it. Do you know how long he's been waiting to get this video visit with his lawyer? This is the first time he's supposed to get a video visit. He'd been telling me, the last email I received from him, he was excited to have this video visit with his lawyer. They just told the entire prison they are taking all legal mail and boxing it up in a locked closet. They only get access with permission. So now he's not allowed to prepare for his appeal, even though this is his right. They're taking all of his legal documents and keeping it in a locked closet. On what grounds? And what are there's zero BOP rules that say that they're supposed to or are allowed to do this. He just now got your package from 2 months ago saying his extension is denied and his bond is denied. This is something he has been waiting, thinking he's having a hearing on, and his own lawyer apparently didn't think it was worth going to visit him in person. They just informed the prison they are clearing all cells of anything more than 5 books, which they've never done before. So all the books that I have purchased, that I have sent to him, that his family has sent to them, all wasted money, if they even get it in the first place. The other 2 guys got extensions on their appeal filings, but we're now being told Paul's is denied. What? Why? And that's the question. So they've given Pete and Joe their extensions to file their appeals. Why are they just denying it for Paul? Why is he not getting his extension? He wants to know why they are targeting him specifically and doing all they can to break his will. Who's doing anything about this? That's a good question. I'd love Mr. Ambrose to let us know what he's going to do about it. I want the entire prison system sued. I agree. Every person involved in setting up my son and attempting to unalive him and destroy his life. This is despicable. Paul is at his breaking point. He is trying to hold his faith. I don't understand how they are saying that they just forgot that he had a scheduled visit with his lawyer. That is ridiculous. And then the other question is, who do you turn to when something like this happens? Who? And apparently the lawyer says that the state and the courts are stopping him from helping. Well, if that's true, then what are you going to do about it? Why don't you try letting people know? If you are being interfered with, why don't you try filing a motion and saying it? How about that? I think this is insane and ridiculous, and this is the kind of thing that we're dealing with. This is what these families are dealing with. This is what these men are up against. And I'll ask the question, if they are guilty of what the government alleged, why do they have to go to these lengths? Not just to sabotage their appeals, but to psychologically torment them and their families. We all know what the goal is. They're trying to break these men. And they want them gone. Off the planet. They want them locked away forever and silenced. And you should ask yourself why that is. So I'm going to ask you to please keep Paul in your prayers. I've also added to the documentary website, which is knkfilm.com. I will link it, of course, in the video description. I've added a section there with the mailing addresses for all of the guys. So if you would like to mail them a letter and just be something encouraging, let them know we haven't forgotten about you. There are people out here that are still trying to help you guys get justice, that haven't forgotten you, and that we're praying for you. And you're going to get through this. God doesn't give us more than we can handle. And I also believe that every time they do something wicked and evil, God uses that for good. So I'm hoping something good comes from this. I'm doing my part in trying to let everybody know that this is happening and there is nowhere to turn to. There is no real oversight of the Bureau of Prisons. There's no, the weaponization committee does nothing. They don't care about these men. Nobody does. It's just us. So anything you can do to help, if you want to write the guys, please consider writing to Paul, letting him know that, you know, people are aware of what's going on, and that we're following it, and we're not going to let something happen to him. We're not going to let these guys just disappear, because that's what they're trying to do with all of them. And we're not going to let it happen. We're not going to stand for it. So on the website, kandkfilm.com, you'll see a tab. If you pull down the pop-up window at the top, it'll say write to the guys. You can click on that. The instructions for writing to them will be there. And for all 5 of them, you'll find Paul's there. I encourage you to write to all of them if you can. And just keep it positive, keep it uplifting, faith focused. Yeah, that's, if you can help with the documentary fundraising, we have raised a good amount of money, but don't forget that a lot of that money that you see on the fundraiser, it's not like we have access to all of that now. A lot of that was spent as we went along, doing our interviews, traveling, etc., paying my editor. And so now I'm going to need to travel again. I anticipate having to travel again, at least to I'm going to be interviewing Paul's father. So if you guys want to help out with that, you know how to donate to the documentary, kandkfilm.com/donate. And please share this video. Let people know what's happening, because no one else is going to report on this. You're not going to, nobody cares. It's just us. So it is up to us to make sure that this message gets spread out and that people find out what's going on and become aware of it. Otherwise, they're going to get away with it, and we can't let that happen. So please share this. Send the video to everybody that you know, all your friends, anybody that follows this stuff. Even if you don't think that they would be receptive to it, maybe they will be, you know, it's worth trying. And then share it wherever else you can. And other than that, just pray for these guys. One other update is Adam Fox, the guy they framed as the ringleader. His appeal has been docketed. The Sixth Circuit has docketed oral argument on his appeal. That is scheduled for May 2nd in Nashville, Tennessee. And I'm hoping that they're going to decide to take up his case. I really hope so. Barry should be having his also. The Sixth Circuit should be doing the same thing. They should be also docketing his for oral argument. I'm going to have to check in and find out the latest on that. I believe that it should be around the same time, and also in Nashville, Tennessee. So hopefully that goes well and nothing happens there. But I'm very, very concerned about the state guys. All of these guys have court-appointed attorneys, by the way. They're not private lawyers, so you have to understand these court-appointed lawyers have they have large caseloads, and they can't always, you know, give proper, effective counsel to these men. And yeah, so it's just very concerning, especially what's happening with Paul. So thank you for listening, and that's it for now.